Now, on Tuesday, America pushed a reset button. What did they do? They brought the Republicans in and kicked the Democrats, well, not quite to the curb, but they did make them one of us. You know, the tired, the statistical 10 to 9% humble, unemployed masses. When it was all said and done, the president took a look around and said, was it me? Was it something that I said? Something that I did? And basically everybody said, yeah, it was. Now, analysts have been all over the airways trying to explain how the Democrats got in and how the Republicans got in and the Democrats got out, and what's going on in this current state. But in my opinion, I don't think the Republicans should sort of get too high on this win, nor do I think the Democrats should sort of get too low. Because in my opinion, I think this entire country is on the political rebound. Yes, we want that relationship back that we had with Bill Clinton. Because he was the ex who left us with the house, the money, the fur, the jewels, the car, and a money market account that actually had money in it. And at the end of the day, we felt kind of rich. So rich that we wanted to date that Republican who came from a good family, because he seems as though he was going to come in and give us more bang for our buck. But that didn't happen, because when it was all said and done, we lost our house, we lost our jewels, we lost our money market accounts. But did we get rid of him? No, we kept him because he had that ambition. You know, he was mopping the floor, but he told us next week I'm going to be the fry cook. So we kept him. And guess what? At the end of the day, he left you with nothing. Not even a pot to piss in or smoke if you live in California. So, after that relationship with George W., in walks none other than Obama, who is the captain of the football team. He's tall, he's handsome, he's popular, he speaks well, and he looks good. So you start going out with him because he's full of promise. A whole lot of promises. Because what we really want is that what we had with Bill Clinton. But we've been dating Obama for about 2 years now, and nothing has quite panned out to what it seemed to be. And we can't really get rid of him. So what happened on Tuesday? We just got rid of the football team. That's what happened. And brought in all these Republicans. Now that the Republicans are in, some are sort of hoping that maybe the Republicans will sort of rub off on the remaining Democrats and maybe put some pressure on Obama. Now, will all this pressure be a good thing, a bad thing? I don't know. I do know that adversity builds character. And in the end, this Republican wave could possibly make Obama stronger, better, faster, sort of like the $6 million man. Speaking of millions of dollars, I don't know if you've heard about the story, but Republican Michelle Bachmann was on AC 360 on Wednesday. Now, the newly elected Congresswoman was there to give her opinions on what she would possibly propose for spending cuts come the next term in office. But somehow she turned the conversation about President Obama's trip to Indonesia. The trip that is reportedly costing him $200 million a day, according to Bachmann and according to some others. Now, I'm a little miffed about this because Bachmann basically is getting her facts and figures from some blogger in Indonesia. And she's not the only one. Everyone's sort of touting this story about as if this blogger in Indonesia who came up with these facts and figures, that they're somehow true, and they're not. Nobody can really substantiate how much the president is spending. I mean, $200 million, like that's political campaign ad money, if you think about it. But I digress. Anyway, I'm a little insulted by the fact that she's wanting us to believe this. And I'm also a little miffed by the fact that she actually expects the president to, leave Air Force One at home and travel coach and book his tickets through the internet like everybody else and stand in line and take his shoes off. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, he's the president of the United States. Like, forget political party lines. It's not going to happen. I mean, I expect for our president to travel first class. Is he spending $200 million? I don't think so. I mean, that's political campaign ad money. And the Democrats just don't have that money, and we just don't have that kind of money. Not real people. And, furthermore, this kind of question would have never come up with George W. Bush, and in fact, it never did, because George W. Bush never went anywhere because he was never invited anywhere. I mean, sure, he hung out with Tony Blair, but Shaggy and Scooby always went everywhere together, so that's no big deal. Speaking of George W. Bush, he's back in the news this week because he has a memoir book coming out. Now, the name of the book is called Decision Points, and he recently did an interview with NBC's Matt Lauer. Now, during this interview, the president basically revealed that one of his lowest points during his presidency was when Kanye West appeared on a celebrity telethon for Katrina and said that President Bush doesn't care about black people. That was one of his lowest points. Not 9/11, not Katrina, not the war in Afghanistan, not those weapons of mass destruction or the war in Iraq or the fact that we're still looking for bin Laden. No, none of those were his lowest points. Kanye West, the rapper. Don't get me wrong, I like Kanye West. I own all of his music, CDs, mind you, not downloaded music. I like Kanye, but nobody lives and breathes by what Kanye West says. Unless you're George W., because it seems as though that really bothered him and that he brought it up in this interview. I expect more out of the president. I don't expect for the president to sort of be rubbed the wrong way by comments of a celebrity rapper. But I digress, because Kanye West actually listened to this, and then it got even more loopy because he went on some radio show and then kind of turned it around and said, oh yeah, I was discriminated against too, and I identify with George W. And quite frankly, if the two of them start becoming buddies, and if I should ever go to a concert and see George W. Bush dancing in the aisles, it's over. The CDs go back. But I digress again. Getting back to George W. and this book, Decision Points. Now, we know about all these other bad decisions that he did. The slow response time with 9/11, the slow response with Katrina, the war in Afghanistan that we're still trying to figure out, the war in Iraq that we're still trying to get out of, those weapons of mass destruction that we still can't seem to find, and bin Laden, who's just sort of out there. We know about all those bad decisions and things that went down, but I think we're all going to sort of flip our lids when it's really revealed in more detail how he had the opportunity to unload Dick Cheney. Yes, back in 2004, Dick Cheney actually approached Bush and said that he would step out and not be his running mate for the next term. Again, another bad decision. Like, you should have taken him up on that. Like, I can't believe this. Are you kidding me? I mean, this book, Decision Points, is beginning to sound like a book of political shortcomings. And quite frankly, I think I may save my money. I'll see you next time.